Hi, and welcome to Happy Fisherman Adventures.
I hope, I dream, I wish to catch a big fish, and I do it when I can. I'm a happy fisherman, and I do it when I can. I'm a happy fisherman.
In today's episode, we are going to show you quite a few adventures, but the first adventure is from the 26th of October, last Saturday basically. We went through the Bower Heads River and it was beautiful, calm. As we got out, the weather turned on us and we did a U-turn and came back in.
Well, we had Chiquita with us. We didn't want to wait for the low tide as we could get stuck. Sometime on the low tide at Bowen River, you can actually get stuck and not come through. So remember that. But after that, obviously I picked up Brett, Dennis, and Tess was still with us, and we went for a big drive. We started at the reef, Wilson Reef. We got some slimy mackerel, nice size too, no snapper there. We went shallow Point Cook, but during the day, couldn't scan anything, so we spent about 10-20 minutes there, nothing happened. We kept going towards the spoil grounds. We hit the spoil grounds. We lost 2 rigs to a shark, obviously, because they just a big run. They bit 80-pound leader about half a meter in, and it's either 7 gill or schoolie, something. They just run, and I was bitten. And then we came back to the old channel. So let's watch the first adventure. This adventure started at Ocean Grove, and the idea was to go out through the Bowen River and fish for snapper or gummy offshore. As we got there, the weather was beautiful. Some people were catching trevally off the pier, and it was very promising. We left the pier just about 9 o'clock and we were on the way. Tess was super excited, Mima was happy, Chiquita was looking around, waiting for her cuddles. So far, everything was as planned. As you exit Bowen River and going offshore, you must have your jacket on. So life jacket is compulsory, and as you can see here, Tess had a little bit of difficulty putting it on. So in next couple of episodes, hopefully we're gonna show you how to easily, quickly put the jacket on. The point you see at Bowen River, it's very narrow and very shallow. It's just before the actual bend to go straight towards the bridge. So make sure you let incoming boats or whatever go first and then just go through. Just give way. Under the bridge, as I mentioned before, do not go on a high tide, do not go on a low tide. High tide, you may hit the top. Low tide, you may damage your skate. Once you get out, just aim for the restaurant. You can't go wrong. As you can see, it wasn't that bad when we got out, but we went to 50-meter line, and as we got there, we start to get white caps everywhere. So because Chiquita was with us, I decided we do a U-turn, we go back to Clifton Springs, launch there, and just go and fish Port Phillip Bay. This time Mima stayed back and we had our friend Brett Dennis and obviously Taz, and we had a big mission today. The first stop was the artificial reef just in front of Point Wilson. As we got here, boys already start catching. I was setting up the cameras, Brett had a flathead, Taz had a slimy mackerel, and the game was on. Taz was happy. As long as we catch anything, he was happy. Considering the slimies were around, all you have to do is make small cubes of pilchard and use a small paternoster rig with small hooks and drop it about 5 to 6 meters just under the boat. If you drop it all the way on the floor, all you're gonna get is flatheads. And yeah, 4 to 5 meters under the boat, there was millions of slimy mackerel. We managed a few slimy mackerel, so that was awesome to have some fresh bite, and the next stop was Campbell's Cove. We did scan around the area, we actually anchored for a little bit, but there was no go. So the next stop, Spoil Grounds. At Spoil Grounds we saw heaps and heaps of bite balls, so we managed to hook something up. Well, this thing definitely wasn't snapper because it cut my leader, well it bit my leader about 40 centimeters away from the hooks. So it would be either 7-gill shark or some kind of ray, even a school shark, who knows. Also, my snapper rods with 20-pound bright, it was no match for this fish. As you can see, it was peeling line like crazy, so I tied up the drag and in no time it just braked off. We did have plenty of bite balls coming straight under the boat, but there was no snapper for us. That's when we made a decision, let's go back to the old channel in front of Port Allington and just fish the tide change. As I was setting up here, we already started. We got flatties, we got slimy mackerel, we got yakka, and surprisingly we had just a wave of actually King George whiting, so we managed about 6 or 7 of them, as you can see here. It's not unusual to get the King George in this channel, even if it's 12 meters depth, but yeah, they were not that big, so a lot of them had to go back. And as far as pinkies or snapper, for us, no go. We had silver whiting, we had pillies, we had everything, you name it, and even fresh bite and live bite. As you can see here, we actually managed to lose some, but hey, we had everything on display, but no snapper for us. And of course, never shortage of Benja sharks. In meantime, my friend Richard decided he had enough. He ended up going to Clifton Springs Bend and he managed one snapper.
The next adventure is the very next day. It was just me and TB. We went to chase some more slimy mackerels.
Well, since I worked out the slimy mackerel all day, Mima's mom and dad love eating slimy mackerel. Ovi and a few other people love eating slimy mackerel. So we decided to go to the old channel and try our luck. And what happened? We burled a little bit, we got onto them, we got quiet feed, then we come back home, vacuum, some for bite, some for food. And I have to tell you, they were one after another. So watch the next video. Well, today we had a simple task. We're going straight to the artificial reef and we're gonna catch some slimy mackerel. We want some for food, but mainly we want some for bite because the long weekend is coming, so we're gonna be spending quite a bit of time chasing snapper and gummy sharks. As far as slimy mackerel, I have to mention again, they are the healthiest fish to eat. They're oily, the omega-3 on it is amazing, but they do taste fishy, so I can't do it. Whoever can eat that fishy taste, it's actually really, really good for your health. If you're gonna use slimy mackerel for bite, you must vacuum seal it. If you don't put them in vacuum sealed bags, they become mashed potato in the freezer. When you take them out, they're no good. They fall apart, they really meshy, it's actually no good. As you can see here, by the time I was setting up the cameras, Mima was plucking them left, right and center. And you can see she drops the line, counts to 5 and basically stops. Once she closes the bail, that's it, they on. In the next shot, you're gonna see in real time, Mima locks the line and have a look how quick the fish is on already. That's it. So about 3-4 seconds later, we already had a fish. And there was millions of them around. Now, talking about the artificial reef, it is kind of between the long reef, obviously very beside, and Port Allington, sort of old channel. So it's kind of in the middle of it. And this artificial reef is just made, obviously man-made, not long ago. And it's like 3 big reefs one next to the other. Just do not anchor on top of them, because you're gonna actually, you may lose your anchor. So anchor away and then slowly leave enough rope so you can fish the back of them. Here you can see we went live on Facebook and called people to come down and fish next to us if they want some fresh bite. And yeah, we actually showed exactly how long it takes just to pick one slimy mackerel. And have a look here, it's not even 2 seconds. She didn't even lock the bail, Mima had the fish on. On my underwater sea view gadget, actually you can see the reef, how it looks. This reef is so healthy, and well, there is a couple pufferfish there, but it just looks colorful, and it's actually really good. So this is just one of the boulders, and there is a couple more of this in this area. Just to mention again, Mima was dropping only about 5 meters under the boat. We're in 11-meter depth, so she just goes halfway, basically. She didn't go all the way to the bottom, because at the bottom you get flatties and all sorts of other fish. But slimy mackerel is about 4 to 5 meters just under the boat. After checking my underwater camera, actually I could see that there was fish all the way to the bottom. So even a couple meters off the ground, there was yuccas and heaps of slimy mackerel as well. And then one of the big rods takes off. Well, unfortunately, nothing exciting. It was another Benja shark. Just to make things worse, this Benja shark, I don't know what it was doing. She actually was hooked and went all around a couple other lines, so things got tangled, and sometimes they can be a pain in the backside. Unfortunately, we have to deal with them. This is the environment, that's where they live, and yeah, that's what they do. It did take a while to untangle and release this fish, but it's all part of fishing. How many slimy underneath the boat? Well, this many. All I can say, it's great to see how healthy the bay is. Also, catching slimy on the light rod and light gear, it's actually really good fun. So you grab a couple for a bite, you grab some to eat, the rest had to go back.
The next video is from our friends, Reedy and Possum, talking about catching King George whiting at Westernport.
Check this out.
I've been on the phone to Possum, and whiting on a slow tide is a challenge. It's very challenging to catch whiting on a slow tide, but hey, I'm up for that. And today we've got a bit of a plan. I want you just to come along with us. Whiting is a very messy fishing. You always got mess all over your hands, and not everyone's got $1 squillion, and this is a good mid-range reel that will get the job done. It's a Shimano Nexus. It's in the size 2,500, spooled with quality braid. The rod has passed the Reedy test, the Reedy test is because I'm so clumsy with my rods, I always end up breaking them. So this one has been around for 2 years, so it's permanently in the Reedy stable. It's a Zamiki Zing. This one cost me $165. Got 2 of them, and I recommend them. Highly recommend them for whiting.
It's going to be a bit of a challenge today. We've got an hour and a half of the run in coming in now, but it's only a small tide. Me and Reedy, we've got a plan. We're going to fish the last of the run in, then we're going to go and fish the run out. So it could be a little bit tough, but that's what it's all about. When it's tough, you've got to work hard and still find the fish. So Brettie's pretty confident. I'm a little bit, the morale's, you know, a little bit like that.
No, the morale's up.
He reckons the morale's up. The confident, I'm not that confident, but hopefully we'll be able to track him down.
I don't know what Possum's on. The morale is at an all-time high. Well, the morale comes straight down because we quickly realise it's going to be very, very tough. Today's fishing strategy involves using the tried and true combination of pippy, mussel and squid as bait, accompanied by a bait knife and rags to keep your hands clean. The technique remains consistent, scouting for sandholes and testing each bait before we progress to the next. Our fishing rigs and hooks consist of a long shank on a Reedy's Tanganosta, ensuring a reliable and successful fishing experience. We are equipped with a variety of small sinkers that can be easily swapped out to accommodate changes in the current at various depths. This enables us to adapt to the conditions and maintain an optimal fishing experience. On a slow tide, when it's low, we like to fish super deep, like 15, 20 metres around the tide change. But on this occasion, it was running to the high tide. So we didn't want to fish super deep because we feel like the whiting still go up on the banks on the high tide, on a small tide, but not so much right up on the banks, just to sub-banks as we like to call them. The other thing we're looking for is flow. And you've heard the saying, no flow, no go. Well, there's always flow on any tide. You just need to find that flow.
We're facing that way.
Yeah.
And our lines were going that way.
Here comes Puff and Billy.
Yeah. Oh, well, we're ticking a few over. Yeah. I'm surprised at this stage of the tide. I didn't think we'd get bugger all, Bretty.
I just think it's because where we are, the depth.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's sort of hard to nut out where exactly to cast, eh?
If we stay like this, now
It's just
once that current runs, it looks like
we're straight out the boat. Yeah.
the circle's just here, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, there's it's a good one.
Yep,
This is a good one.
hope so.
You just see him run. He's got more.
Yeah, good fish by the look of it.
Oh my God.
Good bite.
Look at the size of this one.
Yep.
Oh, look at him. Here it comes. The good old friendly banter.
Well, you'd written the quail off last week.
Well, this is not the quail.
It is the quail.
It's not the quail.
Oh, you're a disgrace.
We're off the bank.
It's still this end of the bay.
Yeah.
We were throwing them back last week. Me and what's his name? Ollie. That was a throwback, mate.
I've never written the quail off. To put some context on what we're talking about, this time of year the massive whiting generally moves south, and I know from experience that fishing south would be a lot easier than Warneet. Possum's got a thing for Warneet, which I don't blame him because it's a beautiful place. He would never throw back a 42 centimetre whiting. He was joking.
Oh, look at him. Oh, it's a squid.
Give me squid rock. I'm just holding it. There's another one at the back of him.
Yeah. I've got to tie this knot.
See that?
Being prepared and having a third rod rigged with a squid jig can often net you some big squid.
Oh, I'm in business.
A couple there or not? Yeah.
On the slow tides in Western Port, my preferred size is a 2.5. On this particular day, the squid weren't taking every colour, so I had to change a few colours, but eventually I got it right.
Yeah, he's coming over.
Here he comes.
What are you?
He's got him. Fucking rip up.
That's a big one. There you go, Possum.
That was some great angling by Possum. By leaving the squid he had on his jig in the water, kept that other squid around the boat.
Oh my God. Oh. Look, step over, right?
I'm not coming, you're not coming up.
We've got some monsters. Beauty. Possum, I'm going to hold them up.
Oh, you're jig back out, I reckon.
Yeah. Chuck that out.
They're a bonus, man.
Chuck, bring them in the boat.
Yep.
Oh, my
Did you
God.
squirt again?
Yeah.
Where?
Follow this. So, just a bit of a rundown, Possum.
Well, as we spoke about before we come out this morning, it was a really, really small tide. We knew we'd have to work hard, and we have. Had to move around quite a bit. Went up fishing deep and getting a pretty good bite going. As you can see, really, really nice box of whiting, but you had to earn them. You had to move around. We could have given up at lunchtime because it was tough.
All good size.
Yeah, they're all around 38s and that. We didn't get any real big thumpers, you know.
I think we got one.
Got one probably 42, but
Yeah.
but just a lovely box of fish and a couple of squid to go with it. So
How would you rate the...
yeah, well, on a day like today, when you've got the Tinganossa and you've got the bit of feather on it, when they're not biting real well, that feather can make a hell of a difference. I've fished with blokes before, and they've got the feather and I haven't got the feather, and on a tough day, that feather, just by moving your line and that, it can attract the whiting and it can make a huge, huge difference. But down here at Warneet, still plenty of fish to be had.
Middle of the day as well.
Yeah, middle of the day. We've just had the best bite of the day was the last 2 hours.
On the slack, wasn't it?
Virtually on the slack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
3.5 metres of water off the quail bank.
beauty.
Well, where is the fish?
Snapper everywhere. Not last Saturday, Sunday, but last couple days we got heaps of reports. They from Mount Martha all around Blackrock, Altona, Williamstown, Point Cook, everywhere. Now most of them are shallows, early mornings, late at night. Some of them even in evening. Some around the ammunition pier as well, but you have to be careful. Don't just go there and fish because you may get fined. The band at Clifton Springs produce couple, but not consistent. Old channel, finally. Someone sent me a picture, they finally got one. It wasn't big, 2.5 kilo, but hey, it's a snapper. King George whiting, strange. We got him at Old Channel, we got him at St. Leonard's, plenty around at Queenscliff, around the Pilot Pier, and on the other side, Portsea. Western Port, you can't go wrong. You just have to get that change of tide. And you'll get snapper, you get gummy, there is plenty of King George as well. Squid started. So as you get out of Queenscliff, obviously out of the river, turn left out of the channel, you know what the actually big ship is, or the ferry, and all those grass beds, do yourself a favor, there's some big calamari there. And they go all the way through St. Leonard's, Swan Bay, St. Leonard's, Indented Heads, Prince George, all around, and they come, there's some at Clifton Springs. Clifton Springs a little bit deeper, but they're definitely there.
Slimy mackerel and yuccas?
Everywhere. We went actually at the old channel first. We got some. We got at the new Wilson reef, plenty. On the camera at St. Leonard's, we saw millions of yuccas. Around all the way, when we went to actual spool grounds, which is Melbourne Channel, there was so much bite fish that was ridiculous. So while you're fishing and whiting, drop a jig, a little paternoster rig, 5-6 meters on the boat, there is your slimy mackerel.
And they're really fun to catch anyway.
Well, best bite. You catch one, what comes up goes down.
Well, thank you.
Well, guys, thanks for your support again. Thanks to everyone that actually purchased our jumpers, our t-shirts. Thank you heaps.
And once again, thank you for watching. We will see you next week.
I hope, I dream, I wish to catch a big fish. And I do it when I can. I'm a happy
I do it when I can. I'm a happy fisherman.